This is pretty good. It's called A Cowboy's Prayer. Jake the rancher went one day to fix a distant fence. The wind was cold and gusty, and the clouds rolled gray and dense. As he pounded the last staples in and gathered tools to go, the temperature had fallen and the snow began to blow. When he finally reached his pickup, he felt a heavy heart. From the sound of that ignition, he knew it wouldn't start. So Jake did what most of us would do if we'd have been there. He humbly bowed his balding head and sent aloft a prayer. As he turned the key for the last time, he softly cursed his luck. They found him 3 days later, frozen stiff in that old truck. Now, Jake had been around in life and done his share of roaming, but when he saw heaven, he was shocked. It looked just like Wyoming. Oh, there were some differences, of course, but just some minor things. One place had simply disappeared, the town they called Rock Springs. The BLM had been shut down. There were no raise and fees, and the wind in Rawlins and Cheyenne was now a gentle breeze. The Park and Forest Service folks, they didn't fare so well. They'd all been sent to fight some fire in a wilderness called hell. Though heaven was a real nice place, Jake had a wandering mind, so he saddled up and lit a shot, and now, not knowing what he'd find. Then one day up in Cody, on a cold fall afternoon, he saw St. Peter coming, and he knew he'd been there. He'd be there soon. Of all the saints in heaven, his favorite was St. Peter. Now, this line, it ain't needed, but it helps with rhyme and meter. So they sat and talked a minute or two, or maybe it was 3. Nobody was keeping score. In heaven, time is free. I've always heard, Jake said to Pete, that God will answer prayers. But the one time that I asked for help, he just plain wasn't there. Does God answer prayers of some and ignore the prayers of others? That don't seem exactly square. I know all men are brothers. Or does he randomly reply without good rhyme or reason? Maybe it's the time of day, the weather, or the season. Now, I ain't trying to act smart, it's just the way I feel. And I was wondering, could you tell what the heck's the deal? Peter listened very patiently, and when Jake was done, there were smiles of recognition, and he said, "So you're the one." That day your truck, it wouldn't start, and you sent your prayer flying. You gave us all a real bad time, with hundreds of us a-trying. 1,000 angels rushed to check the status of your file. But you know, Jake, we hadn't heard from you in quite a while. And though all prayers are answered and God ain't got no quota, he didn't recognize your voice and started a truck in North Dakota.